Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are we doing this morning? Thank you for the thumbs up already. We appreciate that. Got an interesting topic for you guys who are going to rewatch this. So you might want to stick around. I'm sure there's going to be some really interesting dialogue that comes out of it. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to come in. Good morning to you, Jack. How you being? It's just another cold and fall morning here, man. But it's going to warm up. Be a nice day. Two people in the house, two thumbs up. That's a good thing. Stressed as always, huh? And your life is stressful, Jack. I got to put one of these stinky salon paws in my back real quick. So hang on while I doctor myself. 4 people in the house. Thank you. Don't forget the... There we go. All right. Stress as always. Thank you for being here. Oh, fuck me. Wow, that one about took my breath away. Six people watching. How is everybody? Drop us a little message. Let us know who's all here. Get ready to join the conversation. It's probably going to make some people unhappy, some people mad. People are probably going to have opinions. So it might be an interesting topic because it's definitely worth talking about from my perspective on several fronts. 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people watching. Give us some thumbsies uppies. And come on in and tell us what's going on in your world this bright and early morning. We're going to talk about the young American who was kidnapped in the Philippines. I got up early, did a bunch of internet research because that's all you can really do to see if I could find any latest news. So we're going to talk about that person and anything else that's relevant that comes up with it. So, but thank you for being here and thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. Thank you for the morning comments, or evening, depending on where you are. Dragon Ball Z's in the house. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up as you guys come in. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Know that we do have memberships Active super chats are active, but subscribing and liking doesn't cost you anything. So, how's everybody doing today? Caleb, how are you doing? Dragon Ball, how are you? Jack says he's stressed. I'm not stressed. I'm still suffering from a pinched nerve in my back, but I'm managing. I'm all right. So, I want to see if anybody has any thoughts, what the latest news is. Is there anything I can share with you that I know, which probably is not very much more than anybody else? So, HDN is in the house. Thank you for being here. Dragon Ball says that I am tired. Me too, buddy. I am old, so old people get tired, right? Legit says hello, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up as you guys came in. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And so today, yeah, we're going to talk about Elliot Eastman. See if we can understand that. Henry says, yeah, I understand that, man. You know, my back was feeling somewhat better. It was better. I'll say that. I may be 50% better. So I got to kind of take it really easily. I still got to, because I need to be in good shape for the 26th party, which is next Saturday. So I got to really kind of baby myself so I'm not, looking like a crapper. Harper's in the house. Thank you. How are you today, Harper? How are things going in your world? We're hoping that you, Harper, are having a good day. Harper, I just said hello to you. He says, I got a trip to Warner Robins, Georgia tomorrow. Wow. Never heard of Warner Ribbons, Georgia tomorrow, but sounds good. Give you something to do. Well, I don't see an Elizabeth in here. So, is Elizabeth your girlfriend, wife, dog? I know where this is going, and you got your first troll of the day. Oh, that's all right. I don't mind trolls. You know, I don't want to get on the troll kick today too much, but I like trolls. I don't think Harper is a troll. I think he's just maybe uneducated, confused. Maybe her real name is Elizabeth. And he's ashamed of herself, so they go by Harper. I don't know. Yeah, Georgia's an interesting state. There are really nice places in Georgia, but it is like Savannah, but it is nowhere near Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta is not a good place to go. So, how long are you going to be there? Because it's probably maybe a 9-10 hour drive from you. So, yeah, isn't that funny, Harper? You're getting the smack down by an old guy. So what does that say about you? You know. That makes me happy. Oh my gosh, you guys are funny. I have so much fun doing this. I have so much fun doing this. Well, at least you got a dog. Maybe somebody will love you then. One night, and it's only a 6-hour drive. Okay. I was just thinking if you went all the way to the coast, it would be about a 9-hour drive. I was thinking somewhere in there. So, but has anybody in the Philippines, Jack, heard, or are they talking about the Elliot Eastman situation at all? Harper's yelling, "You probably don't have nobody." Oh, poor Elliot. Poor Harper. Ouch. I feel sorry for you, buddy. My wife's asleep. It's early in the morning here. She's in bed. Well, I got up early and did some research, and there's really not a lot out there at the moment. I don't know, maybe they're trying to keep it quiet. I mean, it's made the media here, the national media in America. So, it's made the national media here. The FBI is involved. The FBI has released a statement. The U.S. embassies have really, or the consulate or the embassy has released statements, but they're saying they do have people of interest. Hey, Julianne, how are you? Good to have you here. Thank you for being here this morning. Appreciate you. So, really do. Appreciate you getting up this early and being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. She's saying hello to everybody in the chat. Everybody say hello to her. So, but I've looked at this Facebook page a lot, and I've been looking at the internet a lot. There's, the kid's not very old. He doesn't seem to be. Dragon Ball says, "Hey to everybody. Too early for trolls today." Yeah, I'm just not going to waste my time with it because I think the fact that this poor kid was shot and kidnapped in the Philippines, I think deserves a little bit of respect. So I'm going to try not to, we're going to try to work on this situation. Who's at fault? Tips for people. HDN saying hello to you, Julian. She's saying hello back to you. So, let me pull up his, oh, man. Well, one thing I can say, the interesting thing is, there are some news channels announcing that a famous YouTuber, Elliot Eastman, has been kidnapped in the Philippines. See if I can find his YouTube channel again. I had it up earlier. Get it up here. Life with Julian. Thank you for being here and supporting us. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Yeah, the FBI has come out. They released a statement saying that how they're involved, why they get involved. And that they're working on it. That's what they're saying. They're saying that they're working in conjunction with the Philippine National Police. Thank you guys all for the thumbs up. Ready ounce. Freedom always for the people of Palestine. Okay? Julian says, I'm here with both channels. Yeah. And I appreciate that. The more thumbs up and the more chats we have from different ones, the better it is. So apparently what we know is the kid's a young kid. He's definitely, 23, 24, if I remember right. He's under 30. He went to the Philippines, fell in love with a Muslim woman, which I think is great. A recap of his little story is, Apparently, some armed men who were pretending to be police in the Philippines attempted to kidnap him, and in the process of kidnapping him, somehow he was shot in the leg, and then he was taken and sped away from the Philippines. And so, therefore, the real police got involved, and the citizens are involved, and now the U.S. government's involved because we do have policies about in America when an American citizen goes missing, we get involved. What I read earlier was there are 4 or 5 people of interest that the Philippine government has found or identified. So they do have some people of interest. Where that's taken them, let me move my seat a little bit. Where that's taken the investigation, I don't know. The family back in Vermont has come out publicly because they're getting bombarded. But they have come out publicly and said that they have not received a ransom in any way, shape, or form. So, and what that's going to do is lead us down the rabbit hole of going, well, maybe he's dead. Maybe he didn't survive his gunshot wound. So, Julian, yes, bro, thank you for that. Oh, Harper's here, still here being a crybaby. Just, don't mind Harper. He has an issue with self-control and crying. So the kid, mama and dada back in Vermont, whoever family, they're saying, we haven't heard anything. They haven't given a statement in the Philippines, or they haven't said what his bride or that family has said, whether they've had any ransom calls or any issues. Now, if you don't wind up getting a ransom call, then why did they kidnap him? Or maybe at this point, and if you guys have any thoughts on this, let me know, because maybe at this point they kidnapped him with the thoughts that he was rich because he had a YouTube channel, small one. So small it's kind of hard to find his channel. So it's not like, he has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But, so maybe they thought that he had money. But where he was living at, the part of the Philippines where he was living at, he was definitely living a Filipino lifestyle, very humble lifestyle. And so the motivation there, I guess for me, I look at it going, he didn't seem like, if you look through everything that he has, he's not presenting as a rich American in the Philippines. Not at all. He's living a very simple Filipino life with his wife, who is Muslim. So, seems like a nice kid. So how would the people that kidnapped him maybe mistake him for having a lot of money? Maybe they think his mother and father or his family in America has a lot of money. Because you can imagine they were locals, right? These aren't going to be men that came in from a different part of the Philippines. These are going to be local people who have kidnapped him. At least that's what I think. It's not like they came over from Cebu to do this. So they're local people on the ground in that region that kidnapped him. Now this is, and get this out of the way, and this has, I don't know if this has a role in it or not, but he is in one of the Muslim parts of the country of the Philippines. They got about three hot spots. But let me just say this, there's nothing wrong with being Muslim. There's nothing wrong with Muslim communities. So that's not, I don't know if that plays a role or not. It may have played a role, and let me see what Jack's saying here. Absolutely, Jack's right. Harper Crybaby, if you need your tears wiped, just send me a super chat, and I'll make sure and wipe your tears for you. All right? And maybe we can find you a pacifier. So the question is, if right now, if money, so why is money not in play at the moment? One, is he dead? Is he already dead? And they're like, well, crap, we're better off just because we killed the guy. I was shooting him in the leg and he bled out or something. So are we better as the kidnappers pretending like this never happened and dumping his body in the sea and then going into hiding and pretending it's not happening? So, History's Moment, hiya. How are you? Thank you for being here, Dragon Ball Z. Hey, good to saying hey to everybody. Everybody say hello to everybody. And hey, saying hey to his bestie, which I guess is, I don't know who your bestie is. Maybe History's Moment is your bestie. So it's good to have besties. So maybe that's where they're at. Maybe they found out that they kidnapped the wrong guy. HDN saying hello to everybody. Thank you for the chats. Keep the chat going. That will help YouTube push this topic out today so we can have a really good topic and input from everybody. I really like having input from people. So what I'm thinking is maybe the kidnappers, I don't know, maybe they, and what I don't know is these crimes, how they're punishable. Dragon Ball is dropping a basketball and a tennis ball. So if I'm a Philippine citizen and I kidnap somebody and I get caught, do I go to prison for life? Or is it really not that big of a deal? I'm out in 10 years. If I murder somebody, do I go to jail? Would I go to jail if I'm the kidnapper? So in this case, what would happen to the kidnappers if they're found? They would probably go to prison for life if the guy's dead or alive. So I wonder where that is with the Philippine government, how that kind of works. So Henry saying, hey to you, Jack. So maybe it's a botched kidnapping. The crooks, the bad guys, didn't handle it well. Maybe the kid died, bled out, and the kidnappers have gone underground, so to speak. Because now they're like, look, we're going to hang, so to speak, because we killed the American. We screwed this up. But if we would have got caught just kidnapping him, it wouldn't have been as many years in prison. So that's where I'm wondering about that. And I don't know, and I couldn't find it quickly on the internet about how many years of jail you would get for being a kidnapper in the Philippines versus a murderer. I couldn't see the sentencing guidelines in the Philippines. And maybe they don't publish them, or maybe it's a case-by-case situation. I don't know. So we don't know what the motivation of the kidnappers are. Logically, we would think they want the money. But when they figured out that maybe there's no money coming, because, well, when the boy's dead, or what do? You go and drown and just wait it out. And so they probably will not find his body for a while, if that's been the case, sadly. That's what I'm thinking, not for sure. And so that's where I've been trying to look at this, because there's a lot of things I want to say about this as we go along. One thing I want to tell everybody, I personally believe, and I know 99.9% of expats that I've ever talked to in my entire life think the Philippines is a very safe place to travel. And I think it is. I think absolutely it's a very safe place to travel. Like anywhere, you got to be smart. But I don't worry about being kidnapped or abused in the Philippines. I don't worry about that. 99% of the expats I know don't worry about that. I think if you go to try to assimilate, let me see what Jack's saying here. I'm assuming maybe that he passed from his injury and got ditched somewhere because it would be obvious as hell walking around with a random white dude that being looked for and on the run. Exactly. So, and Jack, the real question would be, I mean, I'm sure the kidnappers, the bad people, the bad actors, they got a lot of heat. They know there's a lot of heat on this. And so, if they, where are you going to hold up with a white kid where everybody's looking? Because you know there's going to be some on the ground donations to anybody who would rat them out. And so I believe, and I don't know, and I hope this isn't true, but I think he's probably not alive. His body's probably been abandoned, and the kidnappers that did the act are digging deep and hiding. So they found a cave somewhere, and they're hiding out, and they're staying there. HTN says, I think someone is upset with, well, see, that's a good point, Henry. It's a really good point. Jack says, probably the captors are blending in with the scenery like nothing happened, and yeah, exactly, because they said they were masked. And then, of course, you get the locals. And Henry, I want to get to your point too. But Jack, you're right, because look, it's easy to blend in, especially if you're in and around that community. And if you have the reputation of being a tough guy, a crook, a bad guy, a lot of the local people aren't going to mess with you because they don't want to be a target, right? But then and that's kind of my point. HDN is this: Mom and Dad have not in America received a ransom. We don't know if his wife has received a ransom. We haven't heard anything from that. There's no activity on his Facebook page going on. There's nothing, literally, about any of this. His wife is Muslim, so she probably doesn't do a lot of social media. But if he did, and so you do got to go down that rabbit hole of saying, look, he's an American, he's a foreigner. He came to a foreign land, the Philippines. He came down to a heavily populated Muslim area where the Muslim faith and politics dictate what happens. He fell in love before he got there with this Muslim girl, got married. They're living together. Has he offended that community down there? Or just somebody? Or one or two Muslim, radicals or Muslim people? HN says, when I was kicked out of the Philippines, it was because of my friend got someone upset. But I don't know who got mad at him. Yeah. Well, and that's a lot of times you're not going to know who you pissed off in the Philippines. Because a lot of times there's been stories over the years of expats behaving badly. They didn't realize they pissed anybody off, but when they go outside of the bar or the club, they're jumped by 6 or 7 Filipino guys beating the shit out of them. So it's not like they're going to confront you a lot of times face to face. Maybe they put up with it and they tolerate it. And but at some point there has to be a breaking point. So is that what happened? Were people offended? Because he hasn't been married to her for very long. Are people offended by him marrying her? Or has he just not assimilated into that very conservative culture in that part of the world? Jack says to you, Henry, people here are very sensitive and emotional. Exactly, they are. But they're not like Americans who will just come out and say, hey, you people suck. They're not very much in your face. in your face people. We are. Dennis is in the house. Dennis, thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up as you came in. Appreciate you. Saying hello to me and buys arm candy and timeout Jack and anti-red horse Jack and everybody else. Young Sanders in the, don't worry, Daddy's in the house. Sanders is here. Good morning to you. How's your Sunday morning going? It's Sunday morning, and I thought we would try to talk about the Elliot Eastman, the American national kidnapped and shot in the Philippines today, guys. So I want to hear what everybody thinks and their thoughts and their conspiracy theories. Just dropped the wife off at work? Nice. I love it when the wife goes to work. I just go cha-ching, 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 count them dollars, baby. Yeah, and Henry says yes. The MPs don't grab us. Who knows what would, yeah, the MPs wouldn't have grabbed you. Who knows what would happen? Exactly. Maybe back then the MPs knew that the best thing they could do is get you out of the region. To make it easier, not only for them, but for you, so that no violence would happen to you. So that's going to be the interesting thing, I think, coming forward. And you know, the FBI is on the ground. The U.S. Embassy is involved. The FBI is working with the Philippine government. They're both making little announcements saying, did I miss Dougster? I did, sorry. The Dougster channel, good morning, David. Good morning, Dougster. Everybody say hi to the Dougster channel and say hi to Sanders. Everybody say hi to everybody. It's morning time, so everybody say good morning. Good morning from my indoor office. So yeah, if it's not about money, because nobody's been asked for money yet, is it because he's dead and they're not going to, and now they know that they've killed him, that he's deceased, and they're not going to, they're going to go underground and hide or go blend in, whatever you want to call it? Is that what they're doing? Or did they did they originally do it for money, but now there's no money and no body, and not a live person? Did he, was he not a good husband? Maybe he wasn't able to adapt to being a Muslim husband? I don't know. 11 watching, we got 8 thumbs up. Our troll got scared and left already, guys. So, give us a thumbs up as you guys come in. Ransom gone wrong, most likely from Jack, versus a religious or a personal beef. Mark, good morning to you, buddy. How are you? The fact that there are been no demands is not a good sign. Absolutely, and that's what I was reading this morning. There's been no demands. The kidnappers would not spend this much time without contacting somebody. Mark, I really agree with you, and I personally believe that the boy's not alive anymore, and they probably dumped his body in the water, and they're going to pretend that they didn't do it. They're just going to go back in and blend in and act like, what happened? I don't know anything about anything, and try to reassimilate, and somebody will probably discover his remains in a day or two, especially seeing that the FBI is on the ground and the Philippine National Police are helping, and it's becoming an international thing. Because obviously, if it makes the mainland news, it's gotten to the government here. The government sent the FBI people over, which is common. So, but the real question is, what's the motive behind it? For me, is, did they not like an interloper? Did they see him as an interloper into the Muslim society? Or was he somebody who, as he married his Muslim bride and converted, was he not able to become a good Muslim man, and that offended people. So, because, I don't know. But he's a young guy, sometimes you have to, and maybe they don't want to do this, but sometimes you got to give young people a chance to prove themselves, especially when they're taking on a new religion and a new life. I hope it's not that, because I know the Muslim faith gets a lot of bad rap, and so this doesn't help. But it will be interesting to see if the people that kidnapped him were Muslim. Because right now we're just assuming that the men that did this were Muslim. We're just assuming it. We have no proof of any of that. We're only assuming it because that's the part of the Philippines he lives in, and he married a Muslim woman. But as you saw some of his Facebook stuff and the internet articles that's being wrote, he's definitely not living high on the hog in the Philippines. I mean, he's living a very simple Filipino life. So I don't know. Common sense to me, and you got to give crooks a common sense argument a little bit. If I was going to kidnap somebody in that part of the Philippines, which is south of General Santos, before I did all of that, I would want to make sure that I could get something out of it. But I think by the way unless he was somebody that ran his mouth over and over and over about how rich he was while he was being poor in the Philippines. I don't know. We don't know that. It doesn't seem to be that way from his Facebook page. Well, the Muslim culture is very weird. They don't like a lot of things. They don't. They have different perspectives, and I can actually appreciate some of their perspectives. So they have a different perspective, and they hold themselves to a higher standard. Is what I think their community does, and I don't think it's a bad thing to hold yourself to a higher standard. So, but you're right. He could have done one or two simple things that really offended somebody, not realizing it, and or if he did it intentionally is the other question. Because you got to throw all of this stuff out. Because look, because you got to remember, Americans are arrogant. Hang on, I'm pulling something up here. All right, let's see. Outside chance they may have already been paid by someone to deliver him to someone else. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, I think that's a logical, maybe the kidnappers is not the ones who were offended. Maybe somebody else was offended. Maybe because the Muslim faith, they do have some different perspectives on things. Maybe her family, maybe he overstepped. I'm not saying he did, guys. I don't want to, make him sound like a bad guy or anything, because we don't know. But if he did something that the Muslim faith or the family of the bride saw as degrading to their faith and or to their marriage, maybe they took it in their own hands. It is very odd. So maybe they went, well, okay, look, we've been telling you that you're not going to do this, 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 and this, and you keep doing this, this, and this, and this. And if you want to be part of our community, married to our sister, our niece, our daughter, then you not knock it off. And maybe his arrogance as an American kicked in, and he said no. So maybe that's part of it. We don't know. H.N. says, my cousin married a Muslim woman, and he had all kinds of problems. They got a divorce after a few months. Well, and you got to go, right, and I have friends that are Muslim, and I respect the crap out of them, because I think they live their faith way better than Christians ever thought about living their faith. You know, they actually live their faith. Christians practice religion. Muslims live religion. So I think they take it way more seriously. So absolutely. And maybe he wasn't prepared for that. And maybe the only way the family knew how to deal with it was to deal with it. Because if, you have to humble yourself in the Muslim faith. I don't know. We don't know. A young man has many options than to convert and to go with a Muslim woman. They do. They do, Dennis. But, he shows and says on his stuff how he fell in love with this simple Muslim or province girl that he fell in love with, and he was willing to give up. He didn't have anything to give up, but he was willing to go to the Philippines, because what is he, 23 years old, I think? So at 23, he doesn't have anything. Apparently his family doesn't come from money either. It's not like it doesn't look like that his family, have a house like on Martha Vineyard or anything. It's not like they're just rolling in the dough, and he decided to be a rebel and, go be poor in the Philippines. So it doesn't seem to appear to be that way. So I do think it's fishy. I think there is something strange going on. I think there's something a whole lot more to the story. My clock has stopped. You got that right. How did you know? It stopped. Because it doesn't do this. Do. Yeah, I'm too poor. I haven't wound it up in quite a while. I probably need to take it down and clean it and then get it back up on the wall. But it's only something to look at. It makes people wonder what time it is when I do these. So maybe I could change the time every time. Everybody would think it's working. So I do think it's interesting. I think there's more to the story. I personally don't think he'll be found alive. I don't think the people now somebody might get sacrificed. They may find, quote, quote, the kidnappers, and they may not actually be the real kidnappers, but they may get the credit for kidnapping them. Well, I'm sure they are doing that, and I agree with you in the sense the wife is young too. I mean, she's, God, his age, if I remember. She's very young herself. She's his age or a little bit younger. I don't think, I'm looking at her Facebook page now. I think she is so young that, I don't know, she's had this in her background, but it could be a family issue, and that's kind of where I'm going with it. I met her once, and she was very nice, but she cultured, and her family was why they had problems, of course. Her family didn't like her marrying an outside her culture. Absolutely. They're very strict about that. And go lay down. Go on. I don't want to pet you. Go to bed. And I think that's a part of it, is there's could be a really good chance that the issue is she married him. And she didn't, and the family didn't like that. And he hasn't proven their self to be a good man. And maybe he's not going to be able to convert to be a good Muslim, right? Well, and the real question is, the weird thing is, of course, we wouldn't take it out on the groom. We would take it out on the bride, saying, "Why did you do this?" So I'm looking at her Facebook group or page right now, and his sister's on here as one of the friends. So I'm looking at her website now to see if she's posted anything on her page about any of this. And even on her webpage or her Facebook group page, she hasn't posted anything about her brother being kidnapped. She's a home worker taking care of her mother. So they don't have money. From what I can tell from looking at the sister, they definitely don't come from money. I'm looking to see. Yeah, Henry, I really think that there's probably more to the story than just money. Obviously not taken from money. It's really not. It's not. And she doesn't seem to have a lot of friends on her Facebook. And before he got to the Philippines, he was an Uber driver. So it's really not about the money. I don't think it's about the money at all. Maybe they were stupid enough to think he had money because he was a foreigner. I don't know, but I don't think it has. I mean, if it was about the money, they made a big mistake, is what I would say. But I agree with you, guys, if you're going down this rabbit hole of thinking that, well, maybe the wife was no longer happy with him, they don't have kids yet. Or the wife's family wasn't happy with him. So maybe they decided to eliminate him so that she could become a widow and remarry to somebody who's more fitting to their liking. So that's it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. And none of his relatives or whatever off of his Facebook page seem to have anything from him in the Philippines. So I'm going to fly on my hat. You guys see that? So I kind of find that interesting that And the woman, the wife, hasn't really posted anything since November of last year. So she's not very active on social media, at least the ones I know about. And Elliot himself hasn't posted anything since what, October of last year? Or is that this year? Let me double check. Yeah, October the 12th was his last post. And he's eating cereal. Okay, Henry. So my best get is going to be this, which is kind of like a shotgun effect. Either the kidnappers were dumb and they thought just because he's white he has money, and they accidentally shot him in the leg, apparently. We don't know where in the leg or anything like that. Good morning to you, Unicorn Dragon. How are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in and giving us a thumbs up. So I think they shot him in the leg. They sped away with him. He probably expired. They probably dumped the body. Now they've gone back to assimilate. And so that's one of the more logical things, right? What we look at on the surface, except for this kid had no money. So they thought he had money, which the way he was living, everything signals to a logical minded person. If you look the way he was living, he didn't have money. They were scraping by in the Philippines, barely just scraping by. So as much as I hate to go down that road, Q-Waxy's in the house. Everybody say hello to Q-Waxy. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Love to hear what you guys think about the Elliot Eastman situation. So the more that you look at the fact that this poor kid didn't have any money, he was living, in poverty in the Philippines. Even for the Filipino people, he was impoverished. So he didn't have a lot of money. Maybe once in a while family send him a little money or something. I don't know how he got money at all. But his previous job was an Uber driver. His family doesn't have money. You can see it from the Facebook stuff. As one of his sisters takes care of his elderly mom, the family has said, we have not received any notification for money, any request for money, any way, shape, or form. So that puts you in that realm of going, well, if it's not money, what is it about? Was people pissed off that he married a Muslim in the first place? Did they not like an interloper coming into their community and marrying one of their daughters or sisters or women, or because they all believe they're family? I got confused a lot. I get confused a lot when I'm around my Muslim friends, because they will call each other brother, and they mean that, and it's kind of the same thing the Christian does, like, hey, you're my Christian brother. But they just say brother. And so my friend would introduce me to his friend, this is my brother, John. And I'd be like, okay, now, is he your real brother? And in the beginning, he was like, well, yeah, they're all my brothers. And I'm like, but I thought you told me you were an only child. And he's like, oh, no, they're not my biological, So you don't know how people feel in that culture. So maybe they're offended, and because it looks like his wife's a very pretty girl, maybe they're mad at her. I can't find anywhere where she's talking about anything, or she is saying anything, or that she's given a statement. I can't find any of that on the internet. So we don't know what's coming from her perspective, or her mouth, or her family's mouth. I haven't seen any reports, and I don't know if anybody else has, about anything coming from her camp, so to speak. about what happened and about why they think it happened or anything like that. Haven't seen a word about that. What we've seen is the other side of the fence, his family saying, look, we're heartbroken, we're terrified, we have no clue because nobody has reached out to us in any way, shape, or form. So, where does that take us? If it's not about money, it has to be something to do with something else. Did he piss somebody off? Did he offend, or did he offend somebody? Maybe he pissed somebody off. Now, you can piss somebody off without offending them. You can be offensive in the religion or the household. You know, Maybe they didn't like that. So we don't know. So that's what we're going to be looking at over the next couple of days, is trying to keep up with this and to find out what has or has not happened. And it's about the only thing we can do, because I've been looking and scouring, and he doesn't say anything in his videos that anything's wrong. He's just living a very simple life there in the Philippines. So, but he does seem like a decent kid. He seems like he's happy. He's getting people to he's getting people to start to leave messages on his Facebook page, hoping that he comes back. Safe return. Yeah, somebody, Brother Eastman, praying for your safe return. My wife is from Mindanao too. Good luck and take care. So people are obviously wishing that he's going to return. There's a lot of people on his Facebook that are starting to say his wife is the one to blame. She did not, the wife's family, she's not protecting her husband. I'm pretty sure the family will go after his wife. His family would go after, well, I don't think so. There's something here on Facebook that says, sad to hear about the Philippine government, but it already has an advisory travel. We know all of that, right? This is just 27 minutes ago. This person thinks his wife are the ones to blame. She's not protecting her husband. I am pretty sure his family will go after his wife. I doubt that. She's in the Philippines. She's Muslim. I don't think that. Somebody saying his mom and dad knew, or his family knew where he was. A lot of people are going back and forth. Look, it's the Muslim family that's responsible for this. A lot of other people are saying here, dude, he's 26. If he went into a high danger zone, then that's on him. A lot of people are hung up on the Muslim situation, which I think it may be a factor, but you can't paint Muslims with a bad brush. You just can't. People were saying that he should have lived somewhere else. He should have got his wife and went to a different part of the Philippines. Well, hindsight's 20/20, folks. But if you're married to a Filipina, sometimes our Filipinos like where they came from. They want to feel close to family. And because that gives them, because sometimes when you remove a Filipina out of her natural environment, it doesn't go well. She doesn't like that. So there's a lot of people just going back and forth, trying to say it's his fault, it's her fault. You know, he should have known better. Family didn't protect him. Uh, Somebody saying that he was alone in that area, so his wife wasn't there. So, but we don't know why his wife wasn't there. It's part of what we don't know is why he was alone. But majority of the people are looking at this like the family, the community had something to do with it. Is from outsiders like me, are saying that there's a problem right there. So a lot of the people that are probably on the outside that really don't know are saying, thank you, Henry. A lot of people truly believe that the family has something to do with it because apparently there's a scenario where he was home alone, I guess, when this happened. So, well, I guess what some people are trying to allude to or say is, how did the bad guys, the actors in this, know that he was going to be home alone to go and kidnap him at that time? So that's where there's a lot of comments about that. Julia Eastman is his mama. Mama knew that he was there. So his family here knew where he was and all of that stuff. His wife just turned 18. You found that somewhere, Jack? All right. Well, she looks young. Say maybe he's a Tim K makeover. You know. I wonder if he had to pay a dowry. Or maybe he didn't pay a dowry. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe, you know, it was set up to where he would have to pay a dowry. And he didn't do that. So maybe that was part of the problem with this. We don't know. We're only speculating at this point in time, but I truly believe the boy is not alive. I think there's a whole lot more to the story than just a random kidnapping, where they picked out the white guy and said, hey, let's kidnap him and try to ransom him back for money because he's white, he has money. Whether he's from Germany, Australia, or wherever, you know, not necessarily that he's an American. Well, yeah, and I can't tell, Jack, maybe you can, when he got married. I'm trying to see when he got married. I found his, YouTube channel. It is too young.
So that our money's coming up for next time. I bought some vitamins. My wife, she comes from.
Here's his video.
Still in there. But someone else basically did. They ordered 140 it's on food. So I really big food. So I just think the world and we should figure it out.
So this is the video of him talking about where he found his wife, I guess.
And then she's gonna take some Provan. She's gonna feel weak and just eat shit. So, yeah.
See, they're living a very basic life. That's still too young, hooking up with a 17-year-old. I agree. Well, now he's 26 currently. So, I mean, I don't know how long. Yeah, I agree with you, though.
The guy we lent money to, he returned our money. We lent him 21,400 and he came back with 23,500. So the extra, we sent him back with 35K. Yeah, should be seeing a little bit extra profit off of this.
And I was reading somewhere where, you know, he begs.
100 profits, you know. Business in there, we got our Wi-Fi still running. And then we're working on getting another Wi-Fi going. But through PLPT, I can't really make a service with just. Oh. No.
Yeah, it definitely shows that she didn't go to college.
So,
So you can tell they're not living in luxury, right?
getting dark.
Beautiful sunset, though.
Like it's not the same in the video.
Oh, it's a nice house.
Pretty at the ocean. Sure, it'd be so beautiful.
And he's obviously living in a compound, right? So I think the fact that somebody had to know when nobody was at home in the compound to make it easy for them to kidnap him is a very valid point. What a beautiful scenery, though. That's his wife speaking.
Man.
Let me turn you guys around. I don't know. What does that tell you? Does that tell us anything? It shows that he started college in 23, but college here is still considered high school. Yes, it is. It is, Jack. All right. Here's something that, let me show you. You guys want to see this? He made a video, and I don't know, this could be motivation right here, guys. This is from 3 weeks ago. He's talking about how he's living in the most dangerous area. Living in the Philippines is most dangerous area as an American. So he's announcing that he's living in the most dangerous area as an American. One thing that we have learned from a lot of people over the years is if you are an American or a foreigner, then maybe it's good to keep a low profile. You don't want to bring attention to yourself. Henry says, not really. Probably still in high school. I am 110% sure. Okay. So I'm waiting to see if he says anything, or is he just This is a 2 hour long video, so we're not gonna watch it.
Everything is global. Everything has solution. Oh, see? This I have no evidence. Now I don't want to wait. It's like, okay, let's get our script. Now it's like, I don't want to wait. You don't want to wait.
Because like so like for a few minutes to stay there.
Looks like just a family thing where he's hanging out with the kids playing. Well, and maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe the wife's family didn't think he brought enough to the table.
Whatever. Like,
They got a little sorry store. Maybe they thought he was military because of the way he wears his hair. So maybe they thought he had military benefits.
we didn't take very long. So it is.
I think he likes to watch himself.
We were expecting here sometimes, but no.
All right. Well, that's enough of him. All right. So it's kind of weird for me. I'm looking at some of the comments that people left on this video where it talks about living in the most dangerous part of the Philippines as an American. There's a lot of comments on here that may lead to some of the thought process of the insights. No, they don't make any profit. People are saying, I wish he would have listened to his instincts when he says, people don't like me here. So in some ways, he's foreshadowing what's happening. He's admitting in his video here that people don't like me here. And they talk about being kidnapped. When he's talked about on his videos about how kidnappings happen in his area. Yeah, there's several people here talking about, look, it's really not a kidnapping, it's a get rid of a foreigner that doesn't fit in type of situation. And people keep talking about how in his videos he kept feeling uncomfortable. He made reference that he doesn't feel comfortable there. And so maybe him and the wife wasn't getting along. The community wasn't accepting him. He's been warned. Apparently, people are saying in the chats that you're being warned that you should leave and you're choosing not to leave. So apparently at different points in some of his videos, he's mentioned and of course, look, the wife being what, 17 years old? If the community has come together, or a group of community members, and have said, this isn't working for you. We're no longer accepting of this. So we are going to take care of the issue. You know, the 17-year-old wife would go along with it. She would have to go with it because she can't go against the family. That's when you know it's time to leave. That's right, buddy. Here we go, maybe. Maybe he's the one of these clout-chasing YouTuber plotting his own. I thought about that. His own kidnapping for views, subs, and watch hours. You never know. You don't know, Jack. And I will say, I've thought about that. And after more I watch, and I hope this isn't the case, because this is really pathetic. But, right, maybe he'll turn up in Thailand, right? But the more you watch his stuff, I get that vibe of a Jack Doherty, whatever that kid's name is. I kind of get that vibe from him that he might do something like that as a stunt to try to gain internet clout and fame. I don't think that's out of the question, Jack. I do think that's a reasonable hypothesis. I really do. I really, really do. And I think if you study his YouTube channel and stuff like that, you kind of get that vibe off of him. So it wouldn't bother me. Yeah, she's 18 now, but they probably got married when they're 17, right? But being a young girl, she's not going to go against the Muslim father or uncle or brothers or community members if they tell her, excuse me, if they tell her, we're not happy with this situation. You know, they're going to go, well, okay. Let me see here. And there are people asking, well, if you feel so uneasy in the Philippines, in this part of the Philippines, why don't you just leave? And he's refusing to leave, I guess. It sounds like to me, you wanted a wife here, and when you found her, you had to live with her family, but they try to keep you from leaving the place because you could get kidnapped and also get them into trouble with criminals. So this one is saying, look, you're an outsider. You marry into this family. The family's trying to keep you safe by keeping you isolated from the criminals, but you keep wandering around acting like that there's no concern. Sounds like you were in a prison where all the guards wish you were free. So a lot of people are picking up on his old videos about, look, it really seems like they wanted you to go away. Some of these are saying it sounds like that your family, and what he is saying, that the family wanted him to go away. So, well, maybe he did go away. Jack maybe have a point there. No? Nope, I haven't seen a donation website for the Filipino family or the American side. Haven't seen one. Which is interesting, because that means nobody's asking for money. So if nobody's asking for, trying to raise money for his safe return, and like the American family has said, we have gotten no notifications asking for money. So I don't believe it is a kidnapping for ransom. It may be a hit where they took him out and killed him and dumped him in the ocean, but there's definitely, I don't think, a ransom happening here from anywhere. And whether the family in the Philippines was involved or not, or they just let it happen. Maybe they went, okay, look, we're not going to be involved actively, but if you guys want to come and take him, then that's okay. And Henry says, yeah, it is weird. It is very weird. I mean, it really is weird. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do. The more I look into this, now that I'm an expert, I just don't think it has anything to do with money. Sounds more and more like they wanted him gone and he didn't get the hint. I think you might be right. To me, I'm starting to agree with you. I truly think it sounds like that. And nobody has shut down his YouTube channel. It's still there. Then here's weird. Wait. Did we just say something really weird?
We brought a truckload of magic.
Something weird is going on. I don't know, guys. Let's see. I know you guys are probably irritated at this, but there's a video on his YouTube channel. And I don't know what this is about. I haven't seen it. He's calling it Elliot Eastman is live. So he's saying that he's going live. And you can see, never seen this type of vlogger outside the country who makes this type of vlog. Wish I could lie there with you, bro. So is he just a lazy guy? And maybe he's not contributing because all he's doing is, and so I think, because here's what I'm going to tell you, and I'm not an expert in the Muslim faith. This would not be appropriate behavior for a Muslim husband that I know, the people that I know, to lay around in bed with your shirt off doing a live stream like this. They wouldn't find this appropriate. So he's basically just doing a silent live stream. But he's all by himself and he's lying there. So if you look at this, if you read between the lines, there's a good chance that if he's doing those things, he's not embracing the life of a Muslim. And if he's not doing that, and he's not an earner, then what is he? Did they come to see him as a parasite? And remember, I would agree, Jack. I totally agree with you. It's probably a thing under the wrong head, man. All right, I'm not an expert in anything, but here's my kind of what I think. Just from the little bit of knowledge I have about the Muslim culture and community, which is small, he absolutely did not assimilate into their culture. And obviously he didn't take the Muslim faith. So he may have dressed the part when they got married, but by his actions, he did not become a Muslim. those are big issues in that community. If you're going to marry a Muslim woman, right, or a Muslim man marrying a woman, they have to convert. They just do. So my guess is they wanted him gone. And now I'm really leaning towards what Jack said earlier. That's a good possibility. Or two, a separate one. One. So here's the two things I think will probably come out. One, he did not assimilate into the culture. He did not become an asset to the culture. He was not a good husband. I hate to say bad things about the guy, but hypothetically, he's not a bad husband. He was not a good husband. He was not a good Muslim because he didn't convert to the faith. The community wanted him gone. He understood and felt the community wanted him gone, and now he's gone. Pretty simple. Two, this is all a big game to him, and he was hoping by becoming going to the Philippines, hooking up with the little girl, getting married, he can make lots and lots of videos or live streams about this and make a really big channel and make a bunch of money. So maybe there was a plus. Well, one, he got to marry some little girl and, have his way. But then he could make his YouTube and become a YouTube star. But when he started to transition into realizing or started to realize that that wasn't happening because of where he was at and the restrictions put upon him and the fact that he wasn't feeling much love, that he maybe did what Jack said, and he's pulled off a scam in order to become famous. I don't know. But I don't see, and I hate to say bad things about anybody, I really do, but I don't see his personality as sincere. People may not appreciate me saying that. I hope he's not injured. I hope he's doing well. But I don't see him as being sincere. Because he has multiple videos touting how he is living in the most dangerous place in the world as an American. So he's trying to bring attention to himself. Look at me, I am living amongst lions. There has to be a payoff to that, right? What is his payoff? Jack said, the last comment, let me read. Just because he married a Muslim does not mean he has to convert to the Muslim. Yeah, he does, yeah. I was wrong in the last comment. But if he did not convert, the marriage is null and void. That is correct. And that's what I mean. If he didn't, if he faked it, then it's a problem. And maybe that could be part of it. They realized after a while of him being there that he truly did not convert like he had to. And the opposite side of that, not only did he not convert, one, he sinned against Allah because he took a bride that's not his because he didn't convert, technically, right? And two, now he's bragging about how he's living in the most dangerous part of the world, because it's on his page here. It's on his YouTube channel. He's touting the fact that he's living in the most dangerous place for an American. So if he was smart, he ran off to Thailand and he's pretending to be kidnapped. But there's to a point, there can't be a whole lot to that because there are independent reports saying that he got shot in the leg. Otherwise, he would have just kind of disappeared, right? He doesn't have the money, I don't think, to hire gunmen with machine guns. And as we've learned and talked about with the guns in the Philippines, guns aren't cheap. A lot of them are homemade, but the people that took them away were dressed in black with M16s. And so those are real rifles. So somebody had to have money enough to buy those rifles. I think his personality is the type that would chase clout. But I think he didn't assimilate into the culture, and he bragged about it. He touted about that. He rebelled against the culture, and the culture got rid of him. That's what I think. Those are my final answers. I truly think that's what happened. I don't think he's escaped to Thailand. Not with armed people chasing him or getting him and then shooting him in the leg. The other child napper, Tim K, did a video about the guy 7 hours ago. He got 11,000 views. Yeah, he has a big channel though. I'll probably get 100 views. But Tim K has a big channel because of his wife. So, yeah, I'll be lucky to get 100 views, but that's okay. I still like talking about things and figure things out. So that's where I'm at, guys. I think I've come down to, they didn't do it for money. They probably did it to rid him out of their culture. Now that I see his YouTube channel so much, how he wants to brag about living in the most dangerous place. Another day in the life.
What's going on now? It's the morning already. It's shitty as fuck at this place, and I can't wait to leave.
Oh, see right here. He has another video where he says, it's shitty in this place, and I can't wait to leave. This was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, another day in the life, September the 15th, 2024. And maybe he means to go to the market, I don't know. But if he's criticizing them, the place, that can't be a plus. Yeah, and Tim Gay probably had $1,000 in donations on his channel. He definitely has a strange YouTube personality. Yeah, I don't know. Not that I can't understand what he's talking about. But for the fact that he was shot in the leg, I would have said that he did what Jack suggested. Seven people still watching. Thank y'all all for being here. Give us a comment about this if you have a comment. Oh, this is interesting. I found that his wife has a YouTube channel. It has 34 subscribers, 12 videos. Let's see if she has anything to say.
NFL Sunday Ticket and you.
Comments are turned off on hers. I married a dream guy from America as a Muslim Filipina. Yeah, I'm still confused how Tim K got so popular. And how he got in so much trouble in the Philippines and caused so much trouble, and people still follow him, and he's still allowed in the Philippines. Okay, so this is nothing. They're not. He's. I hate to sound bad, but he's pretty shitty at videography. So what did I miss? I was washing the car. We washed Lorelai's car yesterday. Well, what we've man, she is young. His wife is really young looking. I mean, really young looking. Really, really, really young looking. Well, we're trying to figure out what we think happened. And I've been looking at his YouTube channel. I've been looking at his wife's YouTube channel. And Jack came up with a theory that maybe he's doing this for a clout chaser, where, you know, he may wind up in Thailand and go, what? You know, but there's also a lot of comments on his YouTube channel where he's made videos talking about how the people there don't like him, they don't want him there anymore. And I was kind of talking about that. If he married his Muslim bride, he should have converted. But it's obviously by watching him, he did not convert. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe he thinks it's cool to, but Tim's an asshole. Have you watched his videos in the Philippines? He's a dickwad. I mean, I'm an asshole, but I'm not that big of an asshole. So all she has is a few shorts on her channel. Well, that would be this would be offensive. There's a short on her channel where they're trying to be all sexy. That would offend the Muslim faith, without question. Yeah, I don't watch him. I used to watch him.
Everyone, keeping up. It's raining now, but later it's gonna rain. Everyone, keeping up.
Yeah, I don't like his channel, but
So very dirty. The beach now, so dirty. Honey.
so who knows what happened. But that's what we're talking about, Sanders, is what in the heck happened to the kid? Yeah, Tim K has a problems, you know. You got to give him some respect because he's a military guy. And, but other than that, not much. But you're right. Maybe this guy followed Tim K and he modeled Tim K's, you know, let me go and get a child bride type of situation. Maybe that's what happened there.
Everyone.
But I don't know. Her YouTube channel is not very active. It doesn't look like it's been active. So I don't know, Jack. No one here wants to hear about Tim. Yeah, but Jack said he got 11,000 views on the video he did, just like this one. So it shows you, there's a lot of people that still follow him and watch him. I get 100 views, he gets 11,000 views. So he must be doing something right. He must be doing something right. So all right. Any final thoughts for today about this Elliot Eastman situation?
This is it, folks. We need you to send a donation.
Yeah, not either, Henry. I don't know what more to say about him. Let's just say we hope that he's alive, because I think that's appropriate thing to do, Henry. And Jack says, I will never give him respect, military or not. There are assholes in the military also, but not all deserve to make a saint because he served. No respect for child molesters for me. No, I agree. I don't disagree with you. Just because you were in the military doesn't make you a bad guy. But I'm still the type of person that I think being in the military is a good thing. And I think it's a sacrifice that people do make. Yeah, we're going to wrap this up. So, yeah, I don't think you ought to follow him because he was in the military. But I think it says a lot that he was in the military. So I think you got to give veterans a little bit of credit just for the fact that they did go and serve. Now, and I guess he was wounded in action. I don't know. That was the story. I don't know him. So over a Desert Storm or something, I don't know. But we got to give him a little bit of credit for that from my perspective. But he loses all credit that we give him because he's a child molester, So I am sacrificing myself here. All right, well, that makes you happy. So, all right, guys, let's get off of here for now. I got other stuff to do this Sunday. I just thought I'd come on and entertain us for a little bit this morning. And we will probably see you guys. Today is Sunday, so I'll probably hang out with the wife all day. I don't know what we're doing yet, but I'm sure we'll go and do something. My back is getting a little better, but not much better. So maybe we'll go for a drive. I don't know what we're doing. But I appreciate everybody as always. And we might see you guys bright and early in the morning. Take care, guys.